I'm going to introduce the Piper Warrior 3 equipped with Avidyne Entegra electronic flight information system. This aircraft is similar to the conventional one, which you are already familiar with. However, in this airplane the gyroscopic instruments are all electrically driven. In order to meet the redundancy requirements, it is fitted with a standby alternator. After turning on the battery, the primary and the multifunction displays turn on automatically. Note the red crosses indicating that the instruments are not yet operative. We need to wait for the initial alignment of the attitude heading reference system. It takes for a few seconds. Now we are okay to taxi. During this video I will use the ground power unit, so I won't need the battery. Note the standby artificial horizons flashing amber light indicating the loss of external power supply. Without action, its built-in battery will supply power for further 1 minute. By pressing the button, we can activate the standby mode, and the attitude indicator will be operative for roughly 1 hour. By pressing the button one more time, the system shuts down. Note the red failure flag. Caution! Battery master must be off when the GPU is attached. Brightness of each display can be individually set. We need to press any of the bezel keys to jump on the initial fuel page. By rotating the bottom right knob, we should set the previously measured fuel amount. If the tank is full, press the fuel full bezel key. To continue, press fuel done. Initial fuel can be reset later if required. This is the multifunction display's engine page, and the following information can be seen: RPM, oil temperature and oil pressure, outside air temperature, exhaust gas temperature of each cylinder. Absolute indicates temperature with respect to 0 Fahrenheit, while normalize indicates the deviation from the datum temperature at which the mode was activated. Lean assist helps to lean easily. EGT probes are attached to each exhaust manifold. An ammeter indicates the electric current generated by the alternator or the standby alternator, expressed in amperes. Bus voltage indicates the electric potential of the main bus, expressed in volts. The fuel measurement is accomplished by a conventional float-type level sensor, but displayed in a more convenient digital way. Fuel used can be calculated by integrating the measured fuel flow by time. Fuel remaining is the initial fuel minus fuel used. Time remaining is the fuel remaining divided by the fuel flow. And econ shows how many nautical miles can be traveled per 1 gallon of fuel. When the radio master is being turned on, the aural warning of the electric trim should be checked. Before pressing OK to jump to the next page, we should note the database validity. During the instrument panel self-test, the desired track should be 150, bearing 135, 2 from indicator indicating 2, vertical glide path half up, lateral glide path half left, with both failure flags out of view. Waypoint and message annunciators are visible. The upper GNS is a satellite-based augmentation system capable 430W, which is considered as NAV1, and the lower one is a normal 430, which is NAV2. VLOC stands for VOR localizer, hence a VOR or localizer frequency can be set. One of the possible ways to change between VLOC or GPS modes is to press the CDI button on the GNS. In VLOC mode, course deviation is shown with respect to the selected VOR radial or from the localizer. By switching the nav source on the HSI, the corresponding GNS will change its mode simultaneously. VLOC 1 refers to NAV1, VLOC 2 refers to NAV2. By rotating the knob, the required course can be set, while pressing the knob sets the deviation bar to the center. Please note the instruction at the bottom left corner. By selecting the bearing, a pointer will appear on the HSI, which is pointing to the selected VOR in VLOC or to the next waypoint in GPS mode. Note that the actual bearing is written digitally on the left side. We will cover GPS mode in the next video. Auxiliary can be selected to see another bearing, but it will not display a pointer, only the digits. The view can be either rows or arc, and both modes make it possible to display the GPS flight plan if applicable. Their circle indicates the half of the selected range. By rotating the knob, range can be changed. On the right there are the heading bug, the altitude bug, the VSI bug and the baro setting. During engine start, oil pressure can be seen on the primary flight display. Furthermore, RPM, fuel flow, true airspeed, ground speed, outside air temperature and wind velocity can be seen on the primary flight display. A slip indicator is situated on the attitude indicator. The lower black portion of the triangle is the ball, which behaves on the same way as a conventional slip indicator. The rate of turn indicator is on the top of the HSI. A blue moving arc will indicate the actual rate of turn. The longer white line indicates rate 1 turn. The distance measuring equipment has 3 modes. In N1, the distance is measured from the DME, which is co-located with the VOR or localizer set on NAV1. N2 means the same with NAV2. And the hold mode holds the DME frequency even if the corresponding navigation frequency is being reset. The conventional CDI is coupled with NAV2 only. The ADF indicator is a relative bearing indicator. ADF pointer cannot be displayed on the primary flight display. The flight timer resets when the device is turned on, while elapsed timer can be reset by pressing the Set Reset button. Standby frequency can be selected by the frequency button. Transponder should be turned on by pressing the standby button. New code can easily be set by typing the digits. In case of a mistake, clear button can be used. To scope 7000, press VFR button. Annunciators are super important. Those lights may help you to avoid trouble. Low bus voltage illuminates when the bus voltage drops below 25 volts. Pitot heat off in-op is pretty straightforward. Starter engage illuminates when the starter circuit is connected, so the Bendix is coupled. This is normal during engine start, but if this light is still on after releasing the starter key, the battery master must be immediately shut down and the engine stopped. Alternator in-op is on if the main alternator's output is 0. In this case, the standby alternator on light should come up. Oil pressure indicates low oil pressure. Be aware if the night-day dim switch is in night mode. The annunciators are dimmed and are barely visible during daytime. Electric trim should be tested before each flight. By pressing the red Trim Interrupt button, electric trim operation is suspended. The electric trim main switch is straight ahead of the pilot and it can be switched off in case of trim malfunction. The alternate static source is located below the instrument panel and should only be used in case of static port malfunction. Pitot and static drains can be found left of the pilot, and both should be drained before each flight. Please keep your charts in a chart holder and keep your finger on the actual item while using the checklist. Be prepared and enjoy your flights.